goods like a stock trader.
Get money.
Dead or rush the floor, we attack like Al Qaeda. Suicide missionary, black activist. Nice with the tongue, I'm a verbal type masochist. Hard body, my skin got Teflon fibers. Dodge.
What's up, peeps? John Williams here at The Distance. Got a video for you guys. This is Gabriel Rosado versus Soto Karass. Bout takes place next week on January the 21st on NBC Sports. On the undercard of Eddie Chambers versus Siari Liakovic. Pretty much is another fight. It's not really that important, but overall it's a very decent fight. Gabriel Rosado actually looked very good in his last fight against Keenan Collins. Even though Keenan Collins is a bona fide scrub, he actually made him look really good in that fight. You know, he was able to stand outside. He timed him very well. Moved his shoulder. Had good shoulder movement. Moved his legs to get out of position. Dictated the pace of that fight, which is what you can do against a fighter that is just basically just that you're overmatched. That's basically an overmatched opponent. And he was able to do that against him. He looked very good in that fight. On the other side, you have Soto Karass. Soto Karass has been in there with some very good fighters. Mike Jones, Gomez is decent. And there's other fights he's been in that I'm not really thinking about. That I'm not even thinking about. There's a couple more on the top of my head, but I can't really say the names right now. But Soto Karass is a tough fighter. He's tough as nails. He can take a punch, and he can give a few decent punches back. So this is actually a very decent fight because Gabriel Rosado, he's a fighter breaking out his style. Gabriel Rosado, in a way, reminds me a little bit of Jimmy Ellis. You notice how, like with Jimmy Ellis could be in fights that are just tough to score. And it's tough to score a Gabriel Rosado fight due to the fact that Gabriel Rosado tends to, he doesn't, sit down on his punches all that much. He makes little mistakes, and he's, sometimes he's standing in and he's fighting the opponent's fight with them. And he's not fighting, at his own pace. He kind of fights at the level of his competition or fights below his level of competition. He hasn't defeated, the best fighters. His best victories against Kasim Uma back in 2009. He's been defeated by like another dude, Derek Ennis Jr. And another guy, and got beat by another guy that nobody's ever heard of. But just overall, I don't think he's very skilled, but I think he's very good. There's a difference between being very skilled and very good, and Gabriel Rosado is just very good. He's very simple. He does certain things well. He puts his, it's like when he puts his combination together. He puts his combination together very simple. 1, 2, 3. Move on the outside. Turn the body. 1, 2, 3. Or move the shoulders with the counter punch. Just one counter punch. He's back in the position. He's just very simple. Very ABC 1, 2, 3. And he does the ABC 1, 2, 3 very well. But what he doesn't do well is what he sucks at. And what he sucks at is just actual fighting. He sucks at fighting. And there's a difference between boxing and fighting, of course. And Rosado does not have the punching power to fight any opponent. And definitely in this fight, he doesn't have the power to stand toe-to-toe with Soto Karass and fight him. I don't know what the hell he was thinking against Alfredo Angulo when Angulo knocked him the fuck out. But in this particular fight, he does not want to stand there and trade with Soto Karass. In this particular fight, he has to fight a very safe fight. Think of it like, what would Jimmy Young, what would Jimmy Young do in this fight? He has to pretty much put together little single shots from the outside, move, very calculated, get himself, stay off the ropes, because pressure fighters love to get on the ropes. Love it when you get on the ropes because, they can take the room away and they can go to the body. He has to, he just has to stand back and, utilize his jab. Look for the straight right hand off the back foot because it's going to land. If he can fire off that lead straight right hand off the back foot, and also look to counter Soto Karass. because Soto Karass' shots come in very wide. He needs to kind of use that aggression against him in this fight. And I think that's just the only way that he can win. Fighting a very safe, very cautious fight. On the other side, you got Jesus Soto Karass. He's facing an opponent that does not have the best punching power. But the thing is with this fight, Gabriel Rosado is taller than him. He's taller than him. He has a longer reach. Rosado has like a 78-inch reach compared to Soto Karass's like 73. And Soto Karass is like 5'11", and Rosado's like 6 foot. So like, I know that pretty much Rosado is going to try to use his reach to his advantage, but in this fight, Soto Karass is going to have to walk down Rosado. He's going to have to walk him down. He has to work behind the jab. He has to go to the body. He has to, come back up top. He has to get, drive him back using his jab. He has to get his foot kind of on the inside. And other than getting his foot on the inside, he has to, follow up getting his foot on the inside with, with the right hands to the body. He has to make Rosado try to stand there and fight him. He's definitely not going to respect Rosado's punching power. He's definitely not going to respect it. So this is a fight to where he walks in and he goes for it. He has to, put his punches together very cumulatively in order for him to know that, the punches are going to count later on in the fight. Pretty much he has to sustain a very early body attack. An early body attack, a late, attack to the head, and then back to the body. And I think he can very well slow him down and knock him out. And that's just my opinion. I think he can slow him down by going to the body and going for the knockout very late. So who I think is going to win this fight? While Gabriel Rosado has a longer reach, he's taller, and may try to fight on the outside, Soto Karass always finds a way to get inside. He always finds a way to kind of try to maneuver his way in to do what he wants to do. And not only that, he doesn't. Rosado is not that special. Even though it's a winnable fight for Rosado, I just don't think he has the punching power to beat Soto Karass. While he doesn't have that punching power, he's not that kind of fighter that's going to come in and just attack. And Soto Karass is going to come in and he's going to throw a lot of punches. And while he's throwing a lot of punches, he's going to, a lot of them are going to land. And not only that, even though Rosado looked good in his last fight against Keenan Collins, that was an opponent that was made for him to look good. But Soto Karass is going to come in and he's going to throw punches and he's going to be pressing the action of the fight. And I'm going to go with Jesus Soto Karass by I want to say 9th or 10th round knockout or stoppage. So, all right, peeps, I'm out of here. That was The Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.